Extinct animals have long fascinated scientists. After all, it's nearly impossible to prove with certainty that a species is truly gone. With so many remote places on Earth, who's to say something hasn't survived? That's why we've put together a list of 7 extinct creatures that might still be alive. Let's dive in. The first creature we'll explore is the Megatherium, one of the most massive land mammals ever to roam the Earth. This prehistoric giant sloth could grow up to 20 feet long and weigh over 8,800 pounds. It lived across South America and is believed to have gone extinct roughly 10,000 years ago, likely due to climate changes and human hunting. But some believe it may have survived, possibly hidden deep within remote jungle areas. In the dense rainforests of the Amazon, local tribes still tell stories of a creature called the Mapinguari. Eyewitnesses describe it as walking upright on 2 legs, toppling trees, flipping over canoes, and emitting bone-chilling growls. The descriptions closely match what we know of Megatherium. Several jungle expeditions have reported strange footprints, broken vegetation, and eerie vocalizations from deep in the forest. While there's no conclusive proof, scientists admit that the Amazon remains largely unexplored. It's one of the few places on Earth where a creature this large might still go unnoticed. Maybe Megatherium really is extinct. Or maybe it's still out there, silently watching from the shadows. Moving on, the Pterosaur. It wasn't a dinosaur, but a distinct order of flying reptiles that lived from the late Triassic to the end of the Cretaceous. They were the first vertebrates to achieve powered flight. The largest species had wingspans over 35 feet and could weigh up to 550 pounds. Their bodies were lightweight with hollow bones and strong chests built for flight. Pterosaurs had sharp teeth, beaks, and often bony crests on their heads. Their wings were made of skin stretched from an elongated 4th finger to the sides of their bodies. Some species may have been covered with primitive fuzzy filaments. Their diets varied. Some hunted fish, others fed on small land animals. On the ground, they likely walked on all 4s and could make quick hopping movements. Though officially extinct for 66 million years, modern reports persist. In Papua New Guinea, locals describe the ropen, a winged creature with a crest and a glowing tail. In Texas and Arizona, eyewitnesses have reported leathery wings, long snouts, and silent gliding. Some accounts include livestock attacks. There's no hard proof, but the fascination remains. Pterosaurs are among the strangest animals in Earth's history, and the idea they might still exist continues to capture imaginations. Number 5 in our video is the moa. These were giant flightless birds native to New Zealand, which went extinct just a few hundred years ago. The largest species, like Dinornis, stood up to 12 feet tall. They were herbivores, feeding on leaves, twigs, and fruits in forests and shrublands. Moa had no wings at all, not even tiny vestiges. Their legs were strong and built for running, while their long necks allowed them to reach vegetation at different heights. Their main natural predator was the Haast's eagle, a massive bird of prey that hunted them from above. But the real extinction pressure came from humans. When the Maori arrived around the year 1300, they hunted moas intensively and destroyed their habitats. Within a few centuries, the birds were gone. However, since the early 1900s, there have been occasional reports of moa sightings in remote parts of New Zealand's South Island. Hikers and farmers have described large, wingless birds disappearing into the forest. Some claim to have found unusually large bird tracks. There's no scientific proof, but much of New Zealand's backcountry remains largely unexplored. Among extinct creatures, the moa may be one of the most plausible candidates for survival. One of the most fascinating creatures in this video is Mokele-Mbembe. This legendary animal is said to inhabit the Congo River Basin in Central Africa. The name translates from Lingala as the one who stops the flow of rivers. According to descriptions, it resembles a reptilian creature up to 33 feet long, with a long neck and bulky body, very similar to a diplodocus, a herbivorous dinosaur thought to have gone extinct 66 million years ago. The first written mention of Mokele-Mbembe came in the early 1900s, when European explorers documented local tribes' belief in such a creature. Natives reportedly identified specific swampy areas, like the Likawala region, where it was said to dwell. Some claim to have seen it crossing rivers, creating massive waves. Over the decades, various expeditions attempted to find proof, but no conclusive evidence has ever been brought back. Despite this, sightings continue to emerge. Some reports even describe boats being overturned by the creature as it defends its territory. Scientists remain largely skeptical, suggesting the accounts could describe hippos, large monitor lizards, or simply folklore. Still, the idea of a living dinosaur hidden in the African jungle remains one of the most compelling mysteries in cryptozoology. This is a creature you all definitely know: the mammoth. These massive relatives of modern elephants once roamed across vast areas of Eurasia and North America. They could grow up to 13 feet tall and weigh as much as 22,000 pounds. Mammoths were covered in thick fur to survive the Ice Age, and their long curved tusks could reach over 16 feet in length. Most mammoths went extinct about 10,000 years ago, but a small population survived on Wrangel Island until just 4,000 years ago. That means mammoths were still alive while the pyramids of Egypt were being built. Thanks to the Siberian permafrost, scientists have discovered frozen mammoth remains with preserved skin and fur. Researchers have sequenced the mammoth genome and are working to insert its DNA into Asian elephant cells. The goal is to create a cold-adapted hybrid. Some scientists believe reintroducing mammoths to the tundra could help fight climate change by restoring grassland ecosystems. Some enthusiasts believe that mammoths might still survive in the most remote parts of Siberia. There have even been reports from hunters and geologists of sightings of huge hairy animals, though none have ever been confirmed by science. Number 2. Megalania. This was a giant lizard that lived in Australia around 50,000 years ago. It could grow over 20 feet long and weigh nearly 1,100 pounds. Megalania was a predator and likely sat at the top of the food chain. It looks similar to a modern monitor lizard, but much larger. Possibly the biggest land-dwelling lizard in history. Its scientific name is Varanus priscus, showing its close relation to the Komodo dragon. Many scientists believe Megalania hunted large marsupials like diprotodons. It may have used ambush tactics and delivered deadly bites, possibly even with venomous saliva. Interestingly, some Aboriginal legends speak of giant snakes with legs. While there is no hard evidence that Megalania survived into modern times, stories from hunters and unusually large footprints found in remote areas keep the mystery alive. Some cryptozoologists believe these massive reptiles could still be hiding in unexplored parts of Australia. Furthermore, in the 1970s, reports from Queensland described a massive scaly reptile vanishing into the bush. These sightings remain unconfirmed, but they continue to intrigue researchers. The vast Australian outback may just be wild enough to conceal a living dinosaur-like predator. The final creature in our video is the Nandi bear. This mysterious animal is said to live in East Africa, particularly in parts of Kenya and Uganda. Eyewitnesses describe it as a mix between a bear, a hyena, and a leopard. Local tribes tell stories of a strong, muscular creature with thick fur that hunts at night and makes terrifying sounds. What's strange is that no known species of bear lives in Africa. Yet, since the early 20th century, reports have surfaced from colonists, travelers, and locals about sightings of this strange beast. Some researchers suggest it could be a relic species, like a surviving short-faced bear or an extinct giant hyena. Today, cryptozoologists believe that if the Nandi bear exists, it may still roam deep within the remote savannas or forested regions of East Africa. In recent decades, locals have reported unusual livestock attacks, accompanied by deep growls and massive tracks. Some biologists suggest a genetic mutation in a known species, like a hyena or leopard, could have produced an isolated and unknown population.